to a comfortable seated position on your yoga mat. Allow your hands to ground down onto the tops of the thighs and take a nice deep inhale through the nose and a nice deep exhale. And when you're ready, close the eyes. Bring the left hand to the chest, the heart, and the right hand to the belly. And just begin to follow the breath as it moves in and out through the chest, the ribs, and the belly. And then notice on the exhale as it moves from the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Just allowing yourself a few moments to drop into this space, letting go of your day, letting go of your week, and allowing yourself to be exactly as you are. Allowing your mind to still and quieten, and allowing any thoughts just to melt away. On your next inhale, reaching the hands up and over the crown of the head, flutter the eyes open and bring the hands about shoulder distance apart. On your next exhale, think about plugging the shoulders into the torso, away from the ears. Just going to turn so you can see a little bit better. On your next exhale, bringing the right hand down to the right hand side, lifting the left hand up and over the crown of the head. Just so we get nice space in the side waist, really grounding down through each sit bone, breathing into the stretch, finding length, finding space. Inhale up to center, and then bringing the hands out in front of you, just walking the hands forwards, maybe coming to the forearms, maybe staying on the hands, just finding a little bit of length through the spine. Breathing in between each vertebrae, and just finding space in the body. Inhaling, rising back up, reach the hands back up towards the sky. And then exhaling, we'll take the left hand over to the left hand side, reaching the right hand up and over the crown of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Just focusing really on your breath here and just allowing the space to be created in the body. Inhaling back through center. And once again, we'll bring the hands out in front of us and exhale, walking the hands and forearms forwards. Maybe this time you find a little bit more space, creeping the fingertips forwards a little bit more. Really remembering to root down through the sit bones and think about bringing that chest up over the shins. So you get a nice length through the spine. Length is what we're looking for here, and try to avoid rounding the shoulders at all. Inhaling, rising up through center, bringing the hands behind you, maybe 4 or 5 inches, and then we'll lift the hips up to the sky on an inhale, just to open up the chest. Maybe let go of the head and the neck if that feels good. Really breathe into the shoulders, into the chest area, the heart space, and then exhale, slowly releasing. We'll bring the opposite leg out in front, so that awkward feeling one. And once again, take a forward fold, so hands come out in front, inhale, then exhale, coming down to the forearms. Maybe there's a little bit more space, you can bring the hands forwards a little bit more, really working on the length. Just being mindful that this side is probably a little bit tighter than the other, so breathe into the hips here. Nice gentle hip opener. And once again, focusing on that breath. Inhaling, rising back up. Bringing the feet onto the mat, bringing the knees to the chest, and just slowly rolling down to the mat. So your back and spine comes all the way to the earth. Knees in towards the chest, and just give them a nice big hug. Releasing the left foot down to the mat, knee is bent. Bringing the right foot up towards the sky, and just bring your hands behind the leg wherever it's accessible. So maybe it's behind the thigh, maybe behind the calf or the ankle. Just relax the shoulders as much as possible and just really feel that shin drawing towards the forehead a little bit more on each exhale. Try and keep the tailbone rooted into the earth as well. Shoulders relaxed, face relaxed, back of the neck is long. Exhaling, releasing the right foot down towards the earth and then lifting the left foot up towards the sky. Once again, bringing the hands just wherever is accessible on that left leg, interlacing the fingers, no stress or strain, not forcing yourself into any particular pose or stretch, just allowing yourself to be exactly as you are, but just finding a little bit more length in the back of the leg. On each exhale, drawing the forehead. And then we'll release that left foot down to the earth, draw the knees into the chest, just beginning to rock and roll through the spine along the length of your mat, until eventually you rock up onto your feet and come into a nice forward fold. Grab for opposite elbows with opposite hands to come into ragdoll pose. And just begin to breathe here, once again finding length in the back of the legs, allowing the head and neck to be really heavy, chest to be heavy towards the earth. You can stay in stillness or sway side to side if that feels best for you. We'll just begin to warm up the backs of the legs a little bit more. So inhaling, bending the knees nice and deep. Exhaling and extending to straighten. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale and extend to straighten. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhaling and tending to straighten. Bringing the hands down towards the earth and then once again bending the knees nice and deep. And slowly beginning to stack one vertebrae on top of the other until the crown of the head and the chin comes up last. Once you get to that standing position, just shrug the shoulders down the back 3 times. And bring the hands to heart center. Closing the eyes, focusing on the breath. Relaxing the shoulders. On your next inhale, fluttering the eyes open, reach the hands up towards the sky. On your next exhale, fold forward halfway and pause. Exhale all the way down, chin to shins. Inhaling, bending the knees, slowly rolling all the way up to standing. Hands come up towards the sky. Exhaling, coming forwards, halfway, pause. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling all the way up to stand. Maybe feel flat back this time if that feels good. And then exhale, fold once again, pause halfway. Exhale, fold all the way down, chin to shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, planting the hands and step back to a high plank position. Just checking your alignment here, shoulders over wrists, hips in line with the rest of the body, long spine, energy through the heels towards the back of the room. And then exhaling 1 inch forwards, knees, chest and chin all the way to the earth. Bringing the hands slightly wider than the mat, spidering out the fingers. Inhale, center, exhale. Inhale, center, look over the right shoulder. Exhale, come down. Inhale, center, look over the left shoulder. Exhale, come down. Hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes, lifting the sit bones up and back. Downward facing dog. First one of the practice, so you can walk out your legs if you need to, maybe just bending one knee and then the other. Maybe just staying in stillness if you want to. Picturing your body as an upside down letter V and sinking the heels towards earth. Nice long spine, and you're pushing the armpits and the tops of the arms towards the earth as well. Hands spread nice and wide like starfish. Inhaling, bringing the right foot up and back, 3-legged dog. You can open up the hips if that feels good, maybe bringing the sole of the right foot down to the sit bones. Keep the shoulder heads nice and level here. Finding length and space in the back of the leg. On your next exhale, square the hips first, and then bring the shoulders over wrists, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Round the shoulders, tuck the chin. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, stepping that right foot forwards in between the hands. Preparing for high lunge, so just make sure you've got your foundation first. Along spine, gaze is slightly forwards, come up to the fingertips. And then when you're ready, inhale, hands come up towards the sky. Energy through the fingers, relaxing the shoulders. And we'll begin to work with the breath here. Opening up the chest. And then exhaling, bending the elbows, bending the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, come down and pause. And then using your core, step the left foot forwards, bring the knee towards the chest, hands heart center. And then slowly moving that foot down to meet the right. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, fold, swan dive forwards. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, hop back to plank. Exhaling, chaturanga all the way to the earth. Once again, spidering the fingers out to either side. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Inhale, look over the right shoulder. Exhale, release. Inhale, look over the left shoulder. Exhale, release. Tucking the toes, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, sending the sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, lifting the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Again, you can stack one hip on top of the other if that feels good. Maybe bringing the sole of the left foot down towards the sit bones. Knee is nice and high. And then on your next exhale, squaring off the hips first. Bring the knee to the nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, and then exhale, stepping the left foot forwards in between the hands. Once again, finding a little bit of length to begin with, hands and fingertips on the earth, energy through that right heel towards the back of the room, but staying on the ball of the foot. When you're ready, inhale, high lunge, hands come up towards the sky. Opening up the heart space, maybe if it feels good, relaxing the shoulders. And then exhale, bending the elbows, bending the back knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, come down and pause and hold. Grounding through the left foot, stepping the right knee forwards. Bringing the knee to the chest, finding length in the spine, and then exhaling, stepping the right foot down to meet the left. Pausing here once again, finding your breath. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, fold, swan dive forwards. Bringing the hands underneath the soles of the feet, so right hand under right foot, left hand under left foot, and just bringing the toes towards the wrists for this forward fold Uttanasana variation. So you can begin to rock forwards and back if that feels good, just finding a little bit more length in the spine, breathing into the backs of the hamstrings, and then releasing. Bringing the hands back from underneath the feet, planting the hands, jump back, plank. Exhaling, chaturanga, all the way to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Tucking the toes, sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe just stepping the feet forward slightly just to clarify the foundation. Inhale, waving forwards, come into a high plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Nice slow movements. Inhale, waving forwards. High plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward dog. One more time with breath. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. On your next inhale, lifting the right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Stepping the right foot forwards in between the hands, high lunge. On your next exhale, interlacing the fingers, bringing the hands behind the back of the head and just opening up the chest. There's no pressure in the head, it's just resting in the hands, just to find a little bit more space. And then exhaling, bringing the hands down, framing the right foot, creeping the fingertips forwards, maybe 4 or 5 inches, and then stepping the left foot up and back. Variation of a warrior 3, toes pointing towards earth. Beginners stay here, or maybe if you want to take it further, bringing the left hand to the left hip, right hand stays on the mat. Stacking the hips and then maybe lifting the left hand up towards the sky. For Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Breathing here. And then exhaling slowly, gracefully, stepping the left foot back, warrior 2. Just checking behind, checking that the arms are in line. Energy coming down through the knife edge of the back foot, and you should be able to see your right big toe on the inside of that right knee. Exhaling, sweeping it back, reversing the warrior. Little to no weight in the back hand, keep the integrity of the lunge in the front leg. Exhaling, releasing, windmilling the hands down. Stepping back, three-legged plank. Exhaling, three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, lifting the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweep it forwards in between the hands. Inhale, when you're ready, high lunge. Hands come up towards the sky. Then exhaling, interlacing the fingers the opposite way, bringing the hands behind the back of the head, opening up the heart space once again. Long spine, no compression in the low back. Exhaling, bringing the hands down, framing the left foot. Creeping the fingertips forwards and then bringing the right foot up off the earth. Flexing the toes are active. And then beginners stay here, or maybe bring the right hand to the right hip. Stack the hips and maybe the right hand comes up towards the sky for half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Don't worry if there's a wobble, it's all good. Remember to breathe. And then exhaling, gracefully stepping back into warrior 2. Checking that the arms are in line with the body. Checking that you can see the left big toe on the inside of that left knee, and then sweeping it back, reversing the warrior. Little to no weight in the back hand. Inhale, rising up. Exhaling, windmilling the hands down, stepping back, three-legged plank. Exhale, three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling on over the toes, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, gazing forwards between the hands, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, then exhale, fold. Inhaling all the way up to Tadasana, hands come up towards the sky. Exhaling, bringing the hands down through the heart space. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling to Utkatasana chair pose, so bending the knees, sinking the sit bones down. Spine is long, tailbone tucked under. And then on your next exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands and hop back to plank. Bringing the right hand to the center of the mat, rolling over to the knife edge of the right foot. Stacking or staggering the feet, left hand comes to the sky for Vashisthasana side plank. Maybe if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift the left leg up off the right. Keeping the toes flexed, really engaging the core. Exhaling, releasing, slowly coming back through your high plank and then taking it to the opposite side. So left hand comes down to the center of the mat, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Stack or stagger the feet, and you can always lift that right leg up off the left. Exhaling, releasing, hands come down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upper dog. Exhale, down dog. Maybe perhaps stepping the feet forward slightly just to clarify the foundation. On your next inhale, lifting the right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Again, you can stack the hips if that feels good. And then exhaling, sweeping the right foot forwards in between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, hands come to the sky. Exhaling, hands come down, frame the right foot. I'm coming into standing split, so it doesn't matter how high that back leg gets, just have the intention for the foot to come up towards the sky. And then slowly with control, step the left foot down to meet the right. Exhale and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Long spine, tailbone tucked under, gaze forward. Exhaling, forward fold, chin to shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, planting the hands, hop back to plank. And again, we'll come into Vashisthasana, side plank on the right hand side. Maybe again lifting the left foot up off the right if that feels good. Breathing here. Exhaling, releasing, and then rolling on over to the left hand side. Maybe the right foot comes up off the left. Maybe it doesn't. It's fine. Engage the core and breathe. Exhale, release. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, roll over the toes. Down dog. Pushing the earth away from you with your hands, finding length and space in the spine. Inhaling, lifting the left foot up and that three-legged dog. Again, you can stack the hips here if that feels good. And then exhaling, sweeping that left foot forwards in between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, hands come up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands come down, and once again we'll come into a standing split. So lifting the right foot up and back, chin comes down towards the shins, no stress, and then releasing the right foot down to meet the left. Exhale and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Long spine, breathing in, breathing out. And then sinking the sit bones all the way down to the earth, rolling onto the sit bones, maybe a little wobble, coming into Navasana, boat pose. Just keep the legs parallel to the mat, toes are flexed, spine is long, open heart, open chest. And then exhaling, bringing the knees to the chest, planting the feet on the mat. And we'll bring the legs out in front of us. Bringing the flesh away from the sit bones. Sitting up nice and tall. And then bringing the left foot in towards the sit bones. Give it a nice big hug, long spine here. And you can stay here, or if you want to take it further, you can take a bind by bringing the left arm around the front of the left shin. Right hand comes behind the back, and just take a nice kind of gentle forward fold. So nothing too much, just a nice kind of shoulder opener here. Keeping the toes flexed on the right leg, on the right foot, towards the sky. Exhaling, releasing. And then we'll cross the left foot over the right leg. And we'll take a spinal twist, so seated spinal twist. So bringing the right hand up towards the sky, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Bringing that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, gaze out over the left shoulder. And breathe here, initiating the twist from the navel. On each exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. And then inhaling, bringing the gaze back to center first, and then returning back round to center. So we're going to kind of move into a little arm balance here, baby grasshopper. So turning the left foot so it faces the side of the room. Right hand comes out to the side, maybe 6 or 7 inches. And then reach the left hand and arm around. Maybe you grab hold of the shin. Maybe you grab hold of the foot. And then using and engaging your core. On your next inhale, imagine yourself as if you were trying to stand up and come forwards, bringing that bottom leg up off the mat, and breathe here. Exhaling, releasing when you're ready. And we'll bring both knees to the chest. We'll take it to the opposite side. I'm just going to turn around here so you can see slightly better. And we'll bring the left foot out in front of us, right knee and thigh towards the chest. Breathing in, breathing out, sitting up nice and tall. And once again, option to stay here or take that bind by bringing the right hand and arm around the right shin and bringing the left hand and arm around the back. Interlacing the fingers when you get there. You can always use a yoga strap if you can't quite reach, just to kind of close the gap a little bit. You'll be able to creep the fingertips a little bit further forwards towards each other. Just finding length in the spine here, keeping the toes active on the standing leg. And then exhaling, releasing, and we'll take that nice twist. So crossing the right foot over the left leg. Inhaling, left hand comes to the sky, right hand behind. And then bringing the left hand and arm, elbow and arm around the left shin. Gaze is out over the right shoulder. Finding length, finding space, remembering to breathe, initiating that twist from the navel. Inhale back to center, and we'll take our little baby grasshopper on this side. So turning the foot towards the front of the room or side of the room, bringing the left hand across to the left hand side, maybe 6 or 7 inches, and then bringing the right hand and arm around that right shin. Grabbing hold of the foot or wherever is accessible. On your next inhale, rising forward, think chaturanga arms. Using and engaging the core, breathing in, breathing out. And then exhaling, releasing when you're ready. Bringing both feet out in front. Once again, drawing the flesh away from your sit bone, sitting up nice and tall. And take a forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards. Just bringing those hands to wherever is accessible. Maybe the shins, maybe the ankles, maybe the feet. And just really working with the breath. So take your time in this pose. Just allow the spine to naturally lengthen. And think about melting the chest over the thighs. So you don't want to round too much through the shoulders. And try to let go of any tension in the shoulders as well. So you don't want to kind of draw yourself forwards too much. You want to release the shoulders, release any tension, and just relax into the pose. On each exhale, just finding a little bit more space in the spine, melting the chest towards the shins. Nice subtle movements, just working with that breath. Inhaling, slowly rising up, bringing the hands behind you, maybe 6 or 7 inches, fingers pointing towards the front of the room. And then inhaling, lifting the hips up. Toes come down towards the mat. Exhale, release when you're ready. And drawing the knees to the chest. We'll slowly roll down all the way to the mat. So you can use helping hands if you need to, or maybe engaging that core, going slower than your body wants you to go until you reach all the way down to the earth. Cactusing out the arms, drawing the feet together, soles of the feet to touch, and allowing the knees to fall to either side for Supta Baddha Konasana, supine cobbler pose. Breathing here, finding length in the spine, allowing the hips to naturally open. Coming back to that breath. Focusing on the inhales, focusing on the exhales. Inhaling, drawing the knees back to center. Feet on the earth. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So bring your ankles towards your sit bones as much as possible. Arms come out to either side, palms on the earth. On your next inhale, lengthen through the knees towards the front of the room and then lift the hips up. Chest is coming towards the chin. You can stay here or maybe bringing the hands underneath the sit bones, interlacing the fingers and shuffling the shoulders underneath for a little bit more lift. Breathing here. Drawing the knees together but not touching, just imagining yourself maybe as if you're holding a ball or a block between those thighs. And then exhaling, releasing, slowly releasing the spine onto the earth. Really press that low back into the mat just to feel a nice release here. Spine is long, back of the neck is long, chin towards the chest. And you can either do what we just did, so a bridge pose, or you can come into a wheel pose by bringing the hands behind the shoulders, fingers pointing towards the front of the room. And then engaging the thighs, lifting the hips before anything else, maybe coming to the head. You can rest here if that feels good, or maybe coming all the way up into your wheel pose, lifting the hips up towards the sky, sending the chest in between the shoulders, maybe coming up to the balls of the feet if you feel like you can go a little bit further. Really engaging the upper back here, no compression in the low spine, so there's no pinching in that low back. And then exhaling, releasing slowly all the way to the earth when you're ready to come down. Planting the whole of the spine onto the mat, cactusing out the arms once again. Allowing the knees to be bent, feet on the earth. We're going to take Supta Gomukhasana, supine cow face pose. So cross the right leg over the left and grab hold of either the shins, the ankles, or maybe the feet. And then on your next exhale, draw the knees towards the chest. Allow the shoulders to be relaxed, back of the neck and the spine is long. And breathe here. Breathe especially into the lower back. This is a really nice release for the low back. So if you're ever holding any tension there or it feels a little bit sore and tight, you can always come into this pose. It's a really beautiful pose. And then we'll cross the right leg over the left leg completely. Exhaling, releasing the knees over to the left hand side. Gaze out and over towards the right. You can bring the left hand to the knees if that feels good, just to draw the knees down to the left hand side a little bit more and really pin the right shoulder blade down to the earth at the same time. Inhaling, gaze comes back to center first. Bring the legs back to center, uncross the legs and then cross the opposite way. So crossing the left knee over the right. Again, just grabbing hold of wherever is accessible, maybe the calves, maybe the ankles, maybe the feet. And then drawing the feet in towards you. So the knees come in towards the chest. Back of the spine long, shoulders relaxed. Breathing in. Breathing out, finding length and space and releasing that low back. And then once again, this time we'll cross the left leg completely over the right. And we come into a spinal twist on the opposite side. So exhaling, releasing the knees over to the right hand side, gaze out and over towards the left. Pinning that left shoulder down to the earth. Again, your right hand can come to the knees if that feels good. Just to really draw yourself towards the earth a little bit more on each exhale. Inhaling, drawing the gaze back to center first. Draw the legs back to center, uncross the legs, draw the knees to the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, nice big squeeze. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, and on your next exhale, draw the forehead to the knees. Inhaling, lengthening out completely, preparing yourself for Shavasana. So legs and feet can fall to either side, hands and arms can fall to either side. Palms face up towards the sky to absorb all the good, positive things that we've generated in our practice today. Letting go of any thoughts, any chaos and unrest. Just following your breath, and we'll stay here for a few minutes. Begin to bring awareness back into your body, wiggling through your fingertips and your toes, beginning to breathe a little bit deeper. When you're ready, reaching the hands up and overhead, making your body as long and as tall as possible. Drawing the knees to the chest, gently rolling over to one side. Keeping the eyes closed. And then slowly making your way into an easy seated position. Bringing your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly once again. Feeling the breath, the energy moving through the body, and perhaps maybe feeling grateful for your practice today. For all the little things in life. Bringing your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And please like, subscribe, and share.